to just proceed with work with the CBSA.
And is that,
seen that,
just to stop you there, Mr. McDonald, is that contract
we're past our time? Do you have a very quick question, Mr. Bachrach?
Well, I'm wondering if you can provide evidence that Bottler is trying to seek a contract for compensation for the work they did, because that's not my understanding.
well, it says it clearly in the document, so I don't know how to understand it other than Bottler sought a contract to provide the misconduct report that they used as the allegations. And in Mr. Utano's report, it says that they sought a contract in order to present as a witness or participate in the investigation. So,
Can I just add to that real quick?
We're really out of time, perhaps.
It wasn't, we're not saying that. CBSA said that.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Brock, please, for 5.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for your attendance. I want to take my opening round with both of you to put a fine point on this issue. This discussion has to end, and it needs to end today as to who's responsible for the selection of GC strategies. Canadians want to know. Canadians are rightfully angry that this two-person firm working out of their basement doing no IT work have collected almost $20 million in taxpayer funds. So I can understand why the government wants to shield themselves, the Justin Trudeau government wants to shield themselves from any responsibility. So I know the Auditor General was unable to precisely identify which individual. She made a suggestion, Mr. Utano, that perhaps you should accept responsibility for it. Her words were that you signed the requisition on behalf of the agency, which amounts to an exercise of delegated authority and carries with it responsibility and accountability. But prior to that particular statement, did you not meet with the Auditor General's team?
We met with the Auditor General for approximately 30 minutes. Once I'm told, the report was already drafted. Essentially, I believe we were just a ticky box.
Okay. Mr. McDonald, you met with the AG team?
I met with the AG team the same day as Mr. Utano.
And did the issue as to who chose GC strategies come up?
Yes, that was one of the first questions that came up. And
you provided documentation to support your theory as to who chose GC strategies?
Yes, I did.
And who was that person again?
It was Mindone and the president.
Did you supply any information by way of an ATIP to the AG?
Yes, I supplied the same information that I put forward to OGO to show the 3 components of all of the selections of GC strategies.
And within that ATIP, there was a briefing preparatory package which contained an item that I brought to the attention of departmental officials. Whose decision was it to contract GC? I'm going to read this out and I want an explanation. My office made the decision to pursue the contract with GC Strategies. The 2 proposals for the work were presented to the CIO and president, and the decision was made to proceed with GC Strategies as their proposal and approach aligned with what the CBSA was looking for, particularly rapid staff augmentation. The Deloitte proposal was a managed service using their cloud instance. This would have involved additional risk and did not align with our direction to build cloud mob competencies within the agency. Who are they referring to?
They're referring to Mindone and John Izowski. And the reason why it was written like that was because Mindone had a fake heart attack and Kelly Belanger took over for him. So the notes were updated so that Kelly Belanger could attend OGO with Erin O'Gorman, as she did. The record will reflect it. And that's why it was written there. But the question you have to ask yourself is, who was the CIO and who was the president when the decision was made?
Who was the CIO at that time?
Mindone.
Mindone. And the president?
John Izowski.
Osowski. Now, you've identified individuals who have misled the committee. I'm not going to use the word who misled. I want to know who lied to committee, who lied to parliamentarians, who lied to Canadians. Identify those players, please.
Well, frankly, if you look at that package that I provided to the OAG, there are 3 components. The first one shows clearly that Mindone and John Izowski were the ones that selected. The second...
Mindone lie to Canadians.
Mindone has completely lied to Canadians.
Did John Osowski lie to Canadians when he appeared at committee?
I can only assume that that's what he did because this is what Erin O'Gorman's own documentation preparing for OGO says. And even Erin O'Gorman pretended that she didn't know who selected GC Strategies, yet she was briefed on it.
Right.
Specifically, the third component says, please send this and the national security exemption request from Jonathan Moore that Mindone was copied on to Erin O'Gorman's own office. Like, it just doesn't make any sense that
When
nobody would
Erin
know.
O'Gorman appeared at committee last week, she was shocked that we were focusing so much attention on her. Did she lie to committee? Did she lie to Canadians that she had no responsibility or no knowledge as to who chose GC Strategies? Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.